Hello guys, and welcome back to What If Deku had the 7 Days into Power Part 6. Let's get right into it. So now we're on to the sports festival. So one A was in the changing rooms. Deku standing in the middle of a room, thinking of which secret treasure he should use. He obviously was going to use every single secret treasure, but he was thinking of which one he should use for the first one. So he grabbed Lost Vein, Bond Secret Treasure, and even Speed Chastful, just in case. Someone came up with Todoroki came up to him and he was like, "Oh, Todoroki, hey, what do you need?" Todoroki was up to Deku and said, You, I'm gonna win this. Deku was like, why are you saying this? We're gonna have a fun match, right? Todoroki look at Deku with a cold stare. I saw you in the classroom using where you grew. It felt like you had flames inside of you, like fire. I'm gonna use my ice powers to defeat you. And I'm gonna win this and show you that I am the strongest. Bakugo came up and was like, "What the hell did you say? You shitty extra! I'm gonna beat you and this little nerd." Deku was like, "You both can try, but if it hit high noon, you both are pretty much gone. You shouldn't really try." They both were angry at Deku. Then they got called out, so they walked out. They walked out to the stadium. And everyone was like cheering for the UA students. Everyone came out. Then a teacher was on stage. It was midnight. It was like, all right, time for the presentation speech. All the audience were thinking that was Midnight, the hero. Midnight called up Deku to come up and take a speech. Deku was surprised that he was giving the speech. He thought it was going to be somebody else, but he went up stage. Everyone was waiting for him to say something cocky, but Deku said this: "I hope that everyone does their best, because if nobody does their best, that means the pro heroes won't see what we are made of. So everyone, please do your best, and don't hold back. Because if you hold back, you won't become a true hero." Everyone cheered for what speech that was. Some of the UA students think that he was underestimating them. By saying they should do their best because he might be stronger than them. Deku went back into line. Then the first match was raced, so Deku thought that he should fly with his pillow with Speed Chastful. So then President Mike was like, 3, 2, 1, go! When the race started, Deku flew over everyone and making it out first. Then the whole entire thing freezed. The whole entire hallway froze. Deku saw that and was like, oh, that must be Todoroki. Todoroki ran out of there. And a few of the other students came out as well. Deku was flying over until a robot showed up. He was like, that was the robot from the exams. He took a Bond Secret Treasure and said, "Snatch," grabbing out the core of it. Then he snapped his fingers and said, "True Spear Chastful, 5th configuration, increase." And then a lot of daggers is right into the main core, and it exploded. It exploded in midair. Then he turned it back into a pillow and flew over it. Then the robot fell to the ground. And when Todoroki saw this and saw all of them, Deku was that far ahead. Then he came up to this obstacle course where you're supposed to go over the line. He was going on the lines, but he flew over it easily. He saw that the students were catching up. Then there was a lot of mind. Deku just flew until he heard somebody shout out, "You shitty nerd!" It was Bakugo coming at him. Deku thought that he might be troublesome, so he grabbed out Lost Vein. Then when Deku was ready, he threw an explosion at Deku, but then Deku said, "Full counter!" Then the explosion came back at Bakugo, sent him flying backwards, back at the start of the air mines. Deku started flying over all the air mines. He made it to the end. Todoroki was freezing. Todoroki was making a pathway, and Bakugo was blasting to it. And Deku started running as fast as he can to make it out of there. Bakugo and Todoroki were right behind him. Then Deku made it first. He was first place. Then Bakugo was second, and Todoroki was third. Then the original canon, everyone came when all the places that they were in. Then the next thing was the cavalry battle. First place got 10 million points, and Deku fought 10 million points. I should have let somebody else go first. But Deku fought. But Deku didn't matter. Then he got a group of Uraraka, Mei Hasame, and Tokiyami. They made all a strat of what they wouldn't do this, and they were just gonna run and just keep the 10 million points on their head and make sure that nobody steals it. And if they ever get close to Deku, if they try to use any of their powers against Deku, he would just use full counter, or use Spear Chastable, or Guardian to block the attacks that were coming in. So the game started. Deku was dodging everyone, but there was somebody coming at them. Todoroki, and Bakugo was coming at them as well. Deku was running. Deku's team was just running around, and they were using Mei Hasame's gadgets to just fly up into the air and get away from everyone else. Todoroki blocked their entrance, setting up an ice wall up. Then Deku thought, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to use Kaminari to shock out a Dark Shadow. Oh, and we can't fly out because one of the boosters are broken because of the Mineta. Then Kaminari was about to do his electric. Then Deku thought he snapped his fingers and yelled out, "Spears with chest full, 6 configuration, shield," instead of a shield. Then the electricity didn't even hit them, and it was just felt like, and it didn't even touch them. He couldn't even shock the shield, and the shield went down. And then Ida thought something. He was like, "I'm gonna use something, but it will leave me out of commission if this doesn't work." Deku used his evade mine and sword. He was like, "There's no way I can evade that, but I know how to get back all points. I could steal all the points. Nah, I want to see I want to face off against Todoroki. It'll be fun." So Ida did his second burst, and Deku didn't even try to dodge it. Instantly, Todoroki got it, but then Deku instantly, they thought their points were going to go down to 0, but then they still had it. Todoroki looked at his hand, and it was actually 8 points. He was like wondering what happened. Deku actually stole 8 points from him and put it on his head backwards, so then Todoroki didn't notice, and actually hold the 10 million points behind his back. Then he would put on back on the 10 million points on his forehead and was like, "You were looking for this? I swapped it out while you were talking." So Ida's out of commission. Kaminari's shock. Look, all you can do now is use your flames. Deku was smiling as he said that. Todoroki was shocked. He was like, "I don't want to use my flames." Deku said, "I know why you're not going to try and use your flames, but why should I say that out loud? I don't want to ruin the juice. I don't want to ruin your life." by saying what is it. But I will. But we can talk if you want to. But anyways, I've got a cavalry battle when the timer was almost over until somebody yelled out, "Deku!" from the sky. It was Bakugo. Then Deku didn't feel like fighting Bakugo, so he used Spirit. So he said, Spirit transfer full second configuration Guardian, and sent the bear right out. And he punched him backwards in the air. Several taped Bakugo and brought him back down. And he was like, "Now getting ready for another launch." But then time is up, and the time end, and Deku was like, "Wow, that was not hard at all." And the 4 teams that were in it was Deku's team with 10 million points, and Todoroki's team with 500 with 600 more points. Bakugo's team with 500 more, 500 plus points, and Shinso's team with 300 plus points. But 2 dropped out. One from class 1A and one from class 1B. I forgot the name of the class 1A student. I'm very sorry. But anyways, after that, they all went to the food court, and then Deku and Todoroki were in one hallway. Deku felt like somebody was watching them, so he decided before they start talking that you look around. So he flew so they don't notice that there was footsteps. Then he saw Bakugo watching. He was like, "You like to eavesdrop on people, don't you?" Bakugo was shocked that he did, but how did Deku knew that he was there? Then he looked up and Deku was right above him, and with speed tried to fall right near him. He was like, "You know it's bad to eavesdrop on people's conversations. You know that, right?" So then he was like, "I'm gonna beat you 2 and become number one." So then Bakugo walked out. Then Deku and Todoroki starts talk, and he's like, "I abandoned my power," and he was about to tell him about his past life and why he's not using his flames then. He said, "You know why I'm not using my flames?" And Deku was like, "Yes," and Todoroki was like, "What? What did you just say?" And Deku said, "Yes, I know why you're not using your flames. Because you abandoned it because of your father. Because you think that your quirk is based on your father's and that's why you're not using his flames, because of your past." And Deku was like, "That's stupid. I have to work. You know, if you learn how to use both your powers, you become stronger than you are right now. You know that, right? You know, if you would have thought, you should have thought of this. It's not his quirk, it's yours. It's your quirk." And Deku walked off, going to the cafeteria to eat. Todoroki thought of that, and he was like, my father told him to say that. But I'm not going to use my flames. Then the faces matches start. The first round was Deku versus Shinso. Now, he looked into his mind and saw that he had a brainwashing quirk. Then he was like, so all I have to do is answer him and he will brainwash me? Pretty interesting quirk if I have to talk. But I don't. But I know how to do this. Then the match began. Then Shinso started to ask questions like, "You're pretty strong and what's your quirk?" Deku didn't even respond. He started running at Shinso. Shinso was trying to ask so many questions just to make Deku talk. He started insulting them. Then Deku punched him right in the stomach. Then he said, "If this is all you can do, you're a shame. You're pointless to be a UA student. He sent him backwards. He's falling to the ground. And Deku was like, if you can't attack her, if that's your only trump card to just defeat villains, you should be ashamed. Because if you can't fight a villain one to hand, and if your quick doesn't work, you can't be a hero. Or you shouldn't be one. So try and fight me hand to hand and try that. Shinzo was shocked. Everyone. Midnight was pretty much, which was like Shinzo, do you forfeit? And Shinzo said no. And then he started to throw a punch at Deku, but Deku blocked it with one hand. And then he said, "It train some more and then come back to me." And he punched right into the stomach, sending him back, sending him out of balance. Deku won that match. All the other matches in the normal My Hero Academia went as canon. Until then it was Deku versus Todoroki. Deku was walking up to the stage until he met Endeavor. Endeavor said, "You're up against my son next. Make him use his flames." He's also, don't even think that you're gonna win. He's gonna surpass All Might and beat you. You're gonna beat everyone. Dick was like, he started laughing. Dick started laughing. And then Endeavor was like, "Why are you laughing?" And Dick thought, it's so funny how you think that your son's gonna win. I'm not gonna make him use his flames because of you. I'm gonna make him use his flames just for my purpose. I want to have some fun in this sports festival. I don't want it to be boring. So that's why. Also, you should really think about your son, because he's the one who used your flames because of you. You should have been nicer to him, and you might have used his flames. Endeavor was angry. He was going to attack Deku, but then Deku sent out a powerful aura. It wasn't unlike anything that he sensed. So he backed off. Now, Endeavor thought it was too pitiful to waste his energy on a stupid little kid. Then Deku was walking up to the stage, and Todoroki also did the same. They both were staring at each other. Then, when I say begin, Todoroki sent a huge block of ice at Deku, but Deku cut it in half. Cut it with lost vein. Todoroki kept on shouting out ices at Deku. Deku just kept on cutting him. Then Deku noticed that he had a block behind him. So he started to do something. He snapped his fingers and said, "Choose Speed Trust 5th configuration, increase," and put a few daggers right behind him, and sent him. Then when he started a block of ice on him, he was like, he was trying to make him focus on Deku. So when he started to use the increase, then the daggers came right behind him. Then the smash behind him. Then instantly Todoroki made an ice wall. And instantly, Deku was running at him. Then he punched. He was about to punch Todoroki, but then a block of ice blocked it. But he smashed. But he made a dent in the ice. Todoroki was already shivering. He was using too much ice. Deku was like, use your flames, Todoroki. I know that you're shivering because of me. Then Todoroki was about to make send a huge ice thing, but Deku instantly was like, "Well, I tried." Then said, "Speed Trustful 4th configuration, Sunflower." Then sent a beam. When it was about to hit, but then all those beams just started hitting the ice, breaking it before the ice could even grow. Or Deku. Then Deku said, "Speed Trustful 1st configuration, and Spear," and then whacked Todoroki to the side, sending He was on the ground trying to stand up, but he was too shivering. And Deku said, "It's your quirk, Todoroki, not his! Use your flames against me. Hey, if you don't, you'll never become a true hero." No. And then Todoroki started to feel something. He was like, he started to remember his past. And that's where we're going to leave it off. Right there. This is What If Deku Had the 7 Deadly Sins Power, Part 6. Cody After Game, signing out.